All right, let's talk about something huge, something that's changing everything. We're diving into artificial intelligence in medicine. But we're not just going to look at the ones and zeros, the code and the algorithms. No. We're going to look at AI like it's a new kind of fire, one that could either warm us, light our way forward, or it could burn down the very thing that makes healing human. So let's get close to this flame and see what it's all about. To get our heads around this, we're starting with a bit of wisdom from Zoran, a wise old dragon from our source material. And he frames AI in a fascinating way, not as a tool, not as a machine, but as a mirror. A super polished, blindingly shiny mirror that reflects everything about us, the good, the bad, and the stuff we don't even know is there. And that idea, that's the lens we're going to use to look at this whole thing. So, this idea of a new flame. It's actually not new at all. Humanity, we have a long, long history of inventing these incredible tools that push us forward in amazing ways, but also carry some serious dangers. It's a pattern, and once you see it everywhere. I mean, just look at this pattern. It's so clear, right? We invent the wheel, and suddenly we have trade and connection, but we also have war chariots. We invent the printing press, and boom, knowledge is for everyone, but so is mass disinformation. We unlock the atom for limitless energy and also for unthinkable destruction. Every single one is a double-edged sword. And that brings us right back to AI in medicine. The argument here is that this is where the fire of progress burns the absolute brightest. Why? Because it's touching something so core to us, so sacred, our health, our lives. But here's the catch. The brighter the light, the longer and darker the shadows it casts behind it. Okay, so before we go wandering into those shadows, and trust me, we will, let's stay on the light for a bit. Let's focus on the truly mind-blowing promise of AI, that healing spark that has so many people genuinely hopeful about the future of medicine.
And listen, this isn't some far-off sci-fi future. This is happening as we speak. We've got AIs that can spot cancer on a scan earlier than even the best-trained human eye. It's helping us discover new life-saving drugs at a speed we've never seen before. It can even tailor medicine right down to your personal DNA. All of this, it points to one thing. AI is a massive amplifier for human intelligence.
But then you get this really interesting twist from a character in the source material, Fletcher the Pilgrim. And he asks this simple but powerful question. What if the biggest win from AI isn't the tech stuff at all? What if it's about freeing us up to be more human with each other? And that is the wild paradox here, isn't it? Think of all the paperwork, the data entry, the burnout that doctors and nurses face. If AI can take over those tedious, soul-crushing tasks, it doesn't replace the humans, it liberates them. It frees them up to have more time for empathy, for listening, for that simple human connection that is at the heart of all real healing. The machine could actually make healthcare more human. All right, we've seen the light. Now it's time to turn and face those shadows. Because with every bit of that incredible promise, there's a risk. And our source material splits these risks into two categories that are pretty memorable: the bad and the ugly. So let's break this down. The bad. Think of these as the practical problems. Things like biased algorithms or data privacy. They're serious for sure, but we can fix them with the right rules and guardrails. The ugly? Well, that's a whole different beast. That's the deeper, more philosophical threat to the soul of what it means to care for another person. Let's start with the bad. And it really all comes back to that mirror idea, doesn't it? The AI is only as good as the data we give it. So if our medical data from the past has, biases and inequalities baked into it, which it does, the AI won't just learn them, it'll amplify them. It will reflect our own flaws back at us, but on a massive, systemic scale. And then there's the ugly. This is what really keeps Fletcher up at night. This is the world where efficiency becomes more important than empathy, where a patient stops being a person with a family and a story and just becomes a set of data points to be optimized. It's that loss of the human touch that truly defines care. Zoran just hits the nail on the head here. Your medical chart, that's a map. It's not you. Your blood pressure, your heart rate, that's data. It's not your soul. And he warns that the biggest mistake we could possibly make is to forget that difference, to start believing the map is the territory. So, wow, we've got this incredible promise on one side and these huge risks on the other. What on earth do we do? We can't just throw the fire away, but we can't let it burn out of control. The source gives us what it calls the dragon's prescription, a way forward that's built on wisdom and being really intentional. And here they are, a roadmap for getting this right. And just notice the balance here. Yeah, we absolutely need the technical stuff: transparency, accountability, testing for bias. But just as important, look at the other principles. Protect our holistic idea of what it means to be well. Always, always put the human experience first. The AI has to serve us, not the other way around. And really, when you boil it all down, it comes to this one central idea: we have to find a middle path. It's not about smashing the machines and rejecting technology, but it's also not about blindly accepting every new shiny thing that comes along. The key is mindful integration, making conscious choices based on our values about how we use these incredibly powerful new tools. Now, it's easy to think, okay, that's a job for the bigwigs, the CEOs, the people in government. But no, this is on all of us. Because sooner or later, we are all patients. The source calls these our dragon's trials, little things we can all do to help shape a better, more human future for medicine. And the first trial is something you can do yourself. Think of it as a little empathy audit. The next time you're at the doctor's office or the hospital, just ask yourself this question: do I feel like a whole person here, or do I feel like a data point? Am I being seen and heard, or am I just a number on a chart? Paying attention to that feeling is a powerful first step. So let's leave it with this one last piece of wisdom from Zoran. As we build this new future with AI, this right here, this is our North Star. The goal can't just be about fixing broken parts or getting rid of disease. The real goal, the true measure of success, is building a system of care that actually helps the human spirit to flourish. That's the whole point.